China's economy is still growing at probably around 9 to 10% at the moment, and we're going to have a new batch of college graduates this summer. Why can't these graduates with a good education find a job?
Well, first, the urbanization rate of China actually is not very high. Contrary to what you think, despite the recent 5-year plan, after the 5-year plan, we only have about 50% urbanization rate. And most of the university students want to stay in the city, and therefore, well, there's just not enough jobs in the city.
But why aren't there enough jobs? Is it because with the economy growing so quickly, why aren't there jobs for them?
Well, first, that most of the university graduates want to join service sector. They don't want to work in factories or things like that.
So they don't want the lower paying jobs, okay.
No, and also they don't want to go back to the countryside, and still majority of China is still the rural area. And therefore, well, despite actually getting only about $300-something a month in Beijing, they still want to stay in Beijing. And it's lucky for them to get a $300 per month job already. So.
And if they want to stay in Beijing or other major cities, housing is often a problem, especially with the property bubble going on right now. The Chinese government recognizes this, and they do have a goal of building 36 million low-income units by the year 2015. How will they do this, and where will they do this?
Actually, China needs those housing almost everywhere, in any major city and also second-tier cities. The primary reason is that after the 1998 housing reform, there are no more government-subsidized housing anymore. And as you can see that in China, it takes about 10 to 12 years of gross earnings to buy a place, which is just excessive. So, and most of the commercial housing are simply beyond affordability of the low-income family. And this is the case not just for China. In fact, for any major city in the world, it's like that. Take example, Hong Kong. About half the people in Hong Kong actually live in government-subsidized housing.
Mm-hmm. And with this housing issue and also the jobs issue in China, how will these domestic problems affect other economies outside of China?
Well, first, the Chinese government probably is going to turn more and more into service industry, as well as increase the urbanization rate, and hence probably the resources going into labor-intensive production is going to be less, and they probably will raise the wage in general, and this will cause us a supply-driven and a cost-driven inflation probably in other countries. So this may affect the poor classes, people in other countries like US or Europe, and those who import cheap manufacturing goods from China.